Hey, everybody. It's your lovely Lotus Blossom Lizzie. And today we are going to be creating, as usual, in our Women Overboard Junk Journal. That's Woman Overboard Junk Journal. So if you like junk journal videos, then you definitely want to stay along for the ride here. I'm going to have some photos at the end, so you'll see some close-up pics as well. And make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button so that you'll be notified when more videos like this one come out. And if you would like to see the real-time version of this video, because I've cut a lot of this out and sped it up, you can head over to the Patreon channel, which is patreon.com/LizForAday. So before I get started, I always take out some things, and I took out one of my envelopes that is just full of junk goodness that I can put inside of my book. And I also had some stamps from a swap that I received, and so I wanted to put some of those in the book as well. So as you can see, I did that on the previous page. Now I'm going to put in a map that I got from a brochure from when I was traveling, and it kind of reminded me of some things in my life, and so I wanted to use it on here. Now, I love using atlas pages and map pages, and a great way to find map pages is just by stopping at a rest stop when you're on the highway and just grab some brochures. They normally always have some types of maps in there, so you can get some for your area. So that is a fantastic idea to kind of build up your stash with some maps or atlas pages. So I actually had someone who asked me, how do you find all of your atlas pages? Well, this is one way that you can do that. And so I'm just going to take this, and I'm just using some regular glue to put it down, and instead of cutting off the bottom of that, I decided to kind of just flip it over to the other page. I've been doing that a lot lately. So I also, in that same brochure page, there was like some coupons to some events, and this was for like the Nashville area. And so I decided to cut those out too because they looked kind of vintagey to me. So I decided I wanted to use those too. And even though they were for like current events, I still like the style that the pictures were in. And one of them was for a Patsy Cline show, and the other one was for Johnny Cash. And I was like, that just says Tennessee all over the place. So I decided to use those in my junk journal. And I love the way they look in here. And they just add just that little something, something. So again, a great idea is to pick up some brochures, use the map pages, and then don't discount anything else that you may find within those pages as well. So I just used my double stick tape to put this down. And the reason why I didn't use glue in this particular instance is because that little background behind there is some cardstock, and I used like a scallop punch, and so it was kind of raised. And I wanted the papers to kind of sit pretty flat, so I used the double stick tape. So next I took out some of the Tim Holtz not vintage photo, distressed ink, and I'm using the blue one. And I love that blue color because it's like kind of like a deep blue. And then I also use green as well because I thought that it would match the pages. And yeah, I got it all over the page. So I was like, let me just make this part of the background and knock that white down because I'm not a true fan of having like a white blobs on my paper. That would be the white space. I'm calling it white blobs. So I took out some of my Sharpie ultra fine pens because those are my pens of choice. And I'm going to put in the description links to some of the items that I'm using. So if you're looking for anything, you can hit those links below, and then you can see what I've actually used. So now I'm using some of those stamps that I got in the swap, and they are so beautiful, and I've been dying to use them. I think by the time this shows, I probably will have used them all. because those little stamps, they're so easy to make, and I definitely would recommend you making some for yourself. And I'll link below again a video where we actually made some faux stamps, and then you can make some for yourself as well because they're wonderful to use. Or you can come over and join the swaps over at Junk Journal Buddy. So if you love junk journaling again like we do, and we just want to junk journal all the time, you can join us over in the Facebook group. And the name of it is Junk Journal Buddies, and it is in the description below. So I did use a little washi tape in here because I had some pieces that kind of looked a little functified on the side. You probably can't see it, but I can see it. So I used just a spot of washi tape because I'm trying to use as much washi tape as I can. Let's face it, there's only so much washi tape a person can use, but I tried it anyway. I tried to use as much as I could. So now I have these other little pieces, and I got these from Penny, and Penny helps me over in the Facebook group. And so she sent me like a big old bag of Happy Meal, and it had these items in it. And so I decided to use those and using the book page as a background. So now I'm taking out some more things. I have some paper clips over on the side that I got from a swap as well. And I have some of the letters that I got within the Happy Mail that I got. And so I wanted to find a way to incorporate those into the journal as well. So I didn't want to just glue this letter down. I wanted it to stay kind of like a fold out. And it was like on a waxy type of paper. So I wanted to make sure that it would stick. And so this is why I used the double stick tape in this case. So I'm using my weeder to just make sure everything is down quite nicely. And remember, I always say, don't use your nails as tools, use tools as tools. So that's why I use the weeder in this particular instance. And I like how I'm able to just fold that paper out. It's just perfect. And then I had another note here, and I wanted to put it in the book. And again, I'm going to use some sticky tape here. And if you want to see this video in real time, you can head over to the Patreon channel. And there I actually have been live streaming daily early in the morning doing my junk journaling. So this video has been up for quite some time by the time that you've seen it, and it's in real time. And I actually cut lots of stuff out of these videos that come over here on the YouTube channel, just so you won't be too bored. But if you want to go and see the conversation that we had over there, then you can head over to patreon.com/Liz for a day. Link below in the description. Now, I was just trying to figure out how I'm going to put this down, but I decided let's just use some more double stick tape because I'm on a double stick tape roll today. And I love that stuff. And I usually keep, enough in my drawer that I never run out. So I haven't been using it. Well, I guess I have been using it a lot lately because for a time I had stopped using it, but now I am again. So I put this lovely paper clip on here that has a little key on the end, and I got that as well in a swap. So I tried to incorporate a lot of things that I received in the swaps because, I'm not saving nothing, y'all. I try to use everything if I can. And I was collecting things for my junk journal, and I hadn't been using it because I wasn't junk journaling enough. So I decided, I'm going to get up early every morning now. And this is part of my art process, my creative process to get up and do my junk journal. So now I'm able to use lots of the items that I actually have been receiving or been collecting. So then I had this little piece of fabric, and I was just trying to figure out what can I do with this fabric, because I just had an itch to glue that fabric down. And I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. So of course, me being me, I took it over to the Whippersnapper, and the Whippersnapper is my SQ9185 Brother sewing machine, if anybody wants to know. And I did some sewing around the edges. I used a very marvelous decorative stitch, and I decided to make that little paper, a little piece of fabric into a pocket. So I'm using some Fabri-Tac to put that on, and I like using the Fabri-Tac when I'm actually using fabric, because y'all know Fabri-Tac is not cheap, and so I like to use it for what it's intended for. And I always say I've seen lots of people using the Fabri-Tac on everything, and I'm like, why wouldn't you use like a cheaper glue, or should I say inexpensive glue? Because cheap is such a harsh word. But I just like to use the Fabri-Tac for fabric, basically. So now I'm trying to figure out, where do I want to put this beautiful sheet of paper here. And I got this from Jennifer over at the Facebook group, and I was like, I have got to use this paper. It is so cool. And it's like, I guess it was from a notepad or something, but I just loved it. I wanted to use that. And so I decided to kind of do a bit of a layout on this page that you see. This pink page it's about to disappear, y'all. That page is about to disappear. And so this little page that has the leaves on it, it actually came from a magazine, and it probably was on an ad or something like that. And so I decided to cut it out and use it within the book. And I'm going to use just my purple school glue to put that down. But right now I'm looking for some deli paper, because I just like using that to just kind of keep my surface pretty clean. And when I was using the glue, I ripped the page, but me being me, I'm not throwing that page away. I'm going to use it, and nobody will be the wiser that I ripped it in half. So now I am going to put my full page down, and just so happens this page actually fits, and it says Delinquent Dieters, a shopping list, and it has this beautiful lady, and I think she's standing on like a scale. So it's actually pretty funny, and I think it's kind of like it's a shopping list. It says it's a shopping list. Duh. And so I thought it would be pretty cool to put in the junk journal, of course, because I put everything in my junk journal. And I think I said that I got this in a swap. So Jennifer Booth sent this to me. So thank you, Jennifer, because I love that page. It is just like, it gives me life. It gives me life in this journal. So you all have to stay tuned until the end, because I do have some photos, some close-up photos of everything that I actually put, all the pages that I did some zhuzhing up in this particular session. So here is some more words, or this is a word that I got out of a magazine. And I find that I can find words that have beautiful fonts and, words that kind of speak to me. So I actually got this out of, I think it was a health magazine, and it was free. And sometimes me and my mom, we go and pick up some vitamins. And when I go there, I always pick up some free magazines. So there's a hint to you. If you're looking for some other items to put into your junk journal, use some free magazines, some that inspire you. Because, not all free magazines are good to use, but, take a peek in them, inside of them, and just kind of think outside of the box. So now I'm adding some washi tape, because I didn't want that little note, that shopping list, to come up. So I decided to put some washi tape in the middle, because we are trying to use our washi tape. Now this ink pad that I'm using, I actually got this from Penny as well. Thank you, Penny. And it came into it came in my big happy mail that she sent me as well. And so I wanted to use that. And so I actually stamped on there, not. healthy knot. So I plan on making a not healthy list because, I'm just bucking the system when it comes to dieters. When, I probably could use a better diet. So now I'm taking out my ultra fine pen and I'm going to use this pinkish one, and I'm just putting cheesecake on here. And then as I work through the journal, I'll probably go back and put some more things that are not healthy that I love to eat that I shouldn't. Not as a reminder or anything, but I just think this page is like hilarious to me. So now I'm taking my gold uniball pen and I'm just going through putting a little dots here, some lines there, just to make it look kind of nice. So I would love to know which pages or which parts of this you love. I love the shopping list the most personally. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, which if you are part of the channel, you're going to forget. So you probably already did it. So with that, I am going to say love, peace, and hair grease from your sweet and lovable Lotus Blossom Lizzie. Have a fantabulous day and enjoy life.